all this time. We got Dad in the studio here. Dylan is in the computer thing up there where we can see him. Dylan, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing good. Ready to pick some picks? We're ready to forget about last week. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you're too giddy.
Oh, wait.
You're too giddy.
Wait a second, guys. Wait. Hey, this is my moment. It's my moment. I think I was one of the top dogs last week in Pit Road Picks. I'm just going to put that out there.
Well, we'll see.
Had Allmendinger, had SVG in the NASCAR race. Pretty sure I had somebody. I had Hulkenberg. That was a move in the Formula One race. Yeah. So those were my three that I hit. So no, not Allmendinger. McDowell. That's who it was.
You don't even know who you picked.
McDowell, top five. McDowell, top five.
Just keep naming somebody else. They're bound to one.
Anyways, I'm going to pick everybody here in a second.
Hey, so. I had both Mercedes in my picks, so I'm well safe.
How'd your NASCAR go, though?
I had the winner.
That's right.
We're tied. We're tied at 3 now. Like
I had 3rd, 6th, and the winner of the NASCAR race.
Yeah, okay. So you're saying because you had 2 winners is why y'all win?
Well, Max finished 2nd. I had him finish 3rd. That's a win, right?
Technically, yes.
Okay, I had Hamilton 6th, right?
He finished 6th?
Yeah. Well, then I had SVG at first. So
okay, well, never mind. It's you know what? I'm just getting more excited.
Do y'all hear the air going out over here?
It's all right, whatever. You know what? We all did great, guys. That's what I meant to say. We're all great pickers of people that race motorsports. So. But yeah, how's everybody doing? How you doing, man? You got done vacation Bible school?
Yeah, doing that. But I would give the pick to Dylan for the win because he had both Mercedes.
Both Mercedes and SVG.
Right. So who would have thought both Mercedes would have, especially finished 1st and 3rd?
Yeah.
Well,
true.
I had
That's true.
It was top 3 and top 6.
So it's not what?
Not as accurate.
All right, so we're tied again.
Yeah, we're back to tie. We're back to everybody did a great job. Applause all around for everybody. But no, got some crazy stuff, man, in the NASCAR world coming off Mexico City. I'm sure some of them would have loved to went to New Mexico rather than Mexico City. So
been easier to get to.
Yeah. We seen some before we get into picks. We've seen some fines.
Yes.
Hocevar called Mexico City a crap hole while he was down there on a stream.
Bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, bold move on that. So he got fined internally $50,000. Wanted to get y'all's opinion on that. And then Tab Boyd is no longer, I don't know the official capacity, but he's no longer the spotter for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for this next NASCAR race. We'll get y'all's thoughts on that. He had a tweet he put out. Wasn't so favorable in NASCAR's light or there's whatever situation there. So, yes, he does have a First Amendment right, but probably his employer didn't think so.
Well, there's some article in NASCAR, if you make them look bad, they used to do that to the drivers every once in a while. So if you do something as a NASCAR person, you got credentials, I'm assuming, and it's like defamation of NASCAR or something.
Detrimental to the sport.
Yeah. So that's probably what they.
Yeah,
got him on.
But we know what your thoughts are on this, Dylan. We don't want to get too far in this political whole rabbit hole down there. But anyways, Dylan, your thoughts on the 2 situations? You pick either one.
Yeah, it's a bold move to pull that on a stream while you're in the country or the city, for that matter. So I don't know. I mean, we've seen this type of stuff play out before, so no surprise that they're kind of trying to do damage control and just make it look good on the outside, really, with saying, "Oh, okay, here's a fine." The spotter, I mean, I don't know. That's his experience. So why would you try to silence that?
Go ahead.
Well, I thought Hocevar was in a pickle.
Hey, explain.
Okay, because he said what he said about Mexico. So one would have thought he would have been anxious to get out of Mexico. According to Ricky Stenhouse, he was going to whip his butt when he got back to America. So he was fixing to rush into a fight.
Yeah, so he was definitely in a rock and a hard spot situation.
Yeah, I might have took Ricky there.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would assume everybody. Well, I don't know. Carson got that reach though. It's like 6.
Well, Carson got a reach, but you don't know what I was taking. If I had to pick between the two of getting vindicated in Mexico for saying what he said or picking Stenhouse, I probably would have went with Stenhouse.
Okay. That's fair. I'm just going. Well, this is a pit road picks. I mean, this is you. I mean, pick. That's who your pick is in that fight. So,
yeah.
Would that be premeditated though? If he actually does connect on something, because he done said it that he was going to do it.
Yeah, that's what got Denny in trouble, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he said it.
That's what got Ricky in trouble.
He said it on pit road, so it's still under the heat of the battle.
Yeah.
The one they did in North Wilkesboro, I guess it was. He cooled off and waited.
Yeah.
He called a shot, then he cooled off and waited.
Yeah. So
anyway, let's move on.
Dylan, who would you pick in a fight? Carson Hocevar or Ricky Stenhouse Jr.?
I mean, if Ricky comes at him, tell him to watch a replay. I'm going with Ricky.
Yeah. Because you never know when his dad's gonna come off the top rope, coming in on him.
TKO. Oh man. Recap a little bit more, Dylan. I know we've had a little bit to think about it since after the checkered earlier this week. Thoughts? Has anything changed in your thought process about Mexico City, the race?
No, nothing's really changed. I keep thinking about how the track just didn't even, I mean, it just looked like it had been abandoned. Like I wouldn't have been able to tell that an F1 race was there, just under a year ago. So I don't know.
Dad's got so many thoughts right now. I can hear him. His breath is just so, I'm ready to go. I want to talk about this. Put me in, coach, is what he's doing over here.
Well, I was thinking since you said that the other night, what does Formula One do when they go to a track? They put so many banners up and everything. All the shots that the camera shots are in have gotten so much of their sponsors in them. And I don't know if they overlay them or whatever, but they lay them out. Kind of like a big race at Alltech or something like that, where Wheeling comes in and puts all their banners up. And so every camera shot going into one or something like that has that sponsor logo in there. I just wonder if they put so much out there during the Formula One race that you don't notice the drab of the facility itself. And then do they cover that up? And then did NASCAR just do a poor job of not doing that?
Yeah. I mean, that's probably part of it. But then again, if NASCAR is trying to go international with this, so you would think that they would do the extra amount of work to make sure that it is just 110% perfect all around as far as presentation wise. But someone who's in Europe is probably going to tune in for the NASCAR race at Mexico City just to see how that plays out. They're going to a global F1 track. The Cup cars I don't think they've ever been there. It was Xfinity that was back in the mid 2000s that went there. So I feel like a lot more eyes were tuning in globally potentially. So I would have thought that they would do whatever it took to make sure that facility looked 110%.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's one thing that Formula One does is I would assume they're kind of like how Disney World hides stuff in plain sight.
Yeah.
I feel like F1 does a great job of that at their racetracks with their banners and everything like that.
You get your attention to look at over here, and over here. You don't look here and here.
Yeah, especially with that, and camera placement probably kind of helps out with that. So I just remember seeing a lot of service stuff, but you seen more behind the scenes stuff that you shouldn't have seen, and that it wasn't colorful or brandied or anything like that.
It could have been they have a labor problem down there too.
Could be because and this was probably, I don't know, you never know with you're making a political joke. The face, bro.
No, I'm not.
The face. Anyways,
no, I wouldn't do that.
Anyways, what I was trying.
Go ahead. Finish.
Okay, what I was trying to say is with. Never mind. I've lost my thought. I've lost my thought on that. Go ahead, Dylan. Just go ahead. Take it away.
I was saying F1's too busy showing you their Louis Vuitton logos, so it just distracts you from everything.
True that.
Yeah, and they are weird. They kind of got that drag type thing behind it, like a tails off on the logo.
I will say they dress 100% better than NASCAR drivers, because I don't know if y'all seen the pictures of that premiere of that movie, but every one of them was dressed to the hilt.
Well, once you got Mercedes, Tommy Hilfiger, you got the Red Bull was Hugo Boss. I mean,
yeah,
NASCAR got maybe Wrangler if that's still around. I know sometimes it's on the 12 car, but that's one thing that people, and this could have been kind of with the Mark Martin conversation. Dylan, sorry, we're going on a tangent here, but it's kind of a place to. There's no superstars like there was. I think Formula One does a great job of making the regular guys into superstars over there.
Well, I think in their eyes, every one of them's a superstar.
Yeah, because they got to have a super license, all that jazz. Is anybody looking forward to going to watch or seeing or wait until the Formula One movie comes out? Anybody?
No. I don't think it's going to be.
What? It's your opinion.
I will say I like the Niki Lauda and the James.
Ron Howard film. Yeah, Rush.
Yeah, Rush. I like that one.
Okay.
That's when he said that's a turd box.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I can't say this. It's for us. All right.
I'm gonna go watch that one movie.
See, look at there. Dylan is appreciative of the arts and sports.
Well, I'll wait for it to come out. I ain't gonna go buy a ticket. I'll wait for it to come out on Netflix or Prime or.
This guy hates movies.
Well, I hate movie theaters.
You don't remember going to the drive-in theater
when they had them? Yeah,
supporting that.
I was a drive-in kind of guy.
Okay. My mom said you were going to open one up when you retire or something like that.
No,
I'm just kidding.
You used to have one here in McLean.
I know. That's what I was.
When we were on offense, when defense was on the field in high school, when you were on offense and defense on the field, you could watch. We watched Bo Derek in the movie 10 through the trees over there.
They play that out. Yeah.
I mean, in the Bible Belt there, yeah.
Jeez Louise. Yeah. All right. Anyways, all right. Any more rabbit holes anybody want to jump down before we?
Have you seen the
get a lot of penalties
bucket?
Let him talk. Go ahead, Dylan.
Have you seen the popcorn bucket for the movie?
No, is it the helmet?
Yeah, it's a helmet.
Yeah. I seen that. That was pretty. I wish.
Formula One was probably $50 for popcorn.
Probably. They probably add a tax on the top of it. The deadgum McDonald's are handing out die casts in their toys, their kids' meals.
Wow.
Down there in Mexico. It's the only reason I would want to go to Mexico. It's only in Mexico, too.
Wow.
So, yeah. Anyways. Yeah, we'll see. But anyways, let's get to it, guys. Let's get talking. We're talking about Pocono. Hopefully, this isn't with the news of the Philly talk of the new racetrack coming possibly in the next, I don't know how many times, but typically if you're talking about it, it's already in the works.
Yeah,
more than likely. I don't know what everybody feels like. Dylan, we'll get your thoughts on this and Dad's thoughts. I think you've already told me, but having a race in Philly, street race in Philly, 2 hours away from the track. Dylan, do you think this could be the end of Pocono eventually in the future or anything?
No, I think Pocono will always have at least one date for the foreseeable future. But this whole the Philly talk, I mean, I could see it if it replaces the Chicago street course. I think that if you're going to do a street course, you should switch it out. Go somewhere else every year, have a rotation going on or something like that. Same with this international talk. With going to Mexico City, maybe not go to Mexico City every year. Try to go somewhere else, maybe Canadian Tire, places that they don't make logistical sense for NASCAR, but somewhere on the same continent, right?
Yes, agreed. And let's do 4 road courses total, and then just swap them out every year.
Let's come back to Wisconsin.
Yeah, Road America. Yeah. That's okay. Go your take. Just go ahead and
keyword Road America.
Okay. Can't you have more than 2 words?
No, I was picking the track. That's all.
That wasn't the question.
What was the question?
Could the Philly potentially be the end of Pocono?
I sure hope it. I sure hope it don't, because it'll be taking away some good history there. Are we down to 1 race a year there?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we better leave that one there.
Well, see, they was
Matty Oli's been very good to the sport in NASCAR.
I agree. Remember they took the one away because it was only a month away from the other one. So.
Right. I mean, that's the way the schedule was. It's like they went to Pocono, they went to Daytona in July, and then they went back to Pocono almost. Yeah. So
yeah, okay.
That wasn't Pocono's fault though.
No. It was a schedule fault. But anyways, I'm glad to see Pocono. It's a great track. I do think it works out better with the 1 date though.
Yeah,
because it that second one did used to get a little tiring there because we've already seen this fuel mileage race play out. Let's watch another one the exact same way. And then later on they got a little wild. So I don't expect anything else other than that. A wild finish is probably what's going to happen to this race. So we'll see how everybody's picks kind of filters into that possible wild shootout, which usually it always comes down to. We had Larson and Hamlin, and then Larson a couple years ago with the flat tire, Larson Hamlin, and then Chastain and Hamlin, and then so we've seen it all. So, anyways, let's get to it. Dylan is going first since he won. Technically, I think we're giving the win to him. Is this another technicality?
Another technicality.
Jeez Louise, Dylan. Jeez Louise. Anyways, we'll let you go first, or you could pass. It's up to you. But
pass.
give us you're going to pass. Okay, he said pass, so that goes on to you.
So I finished second. So you finished last.
Yeah.
So you went from being giddy to win, as the winner. Now you're relegated to the last place.
And all the air just went out of my balloon earlier. So
all right, well, I'm going to bring some laughter back to you. I'm going to go with Ty Gibbs as finishing 10th.
Hey, I don't hate the Ty Gibbs. Why did you pick you though for that?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm throwing this week because I'm picking somebody else to do better than Ty Gibbs, and so I know he's going to blow up or wreck. But that's higher up the chain. I want to go with Ty Gibbs because he's got to be due. I mean, I keep picking him. He's going to have a good week eventually.
Yeah, and it's a good track for first time.
Well, I think Hamlin's going to be strong too. So I think Toyota should be strong. So he should have a good strong car.
Okay. And like we talked earlier, first time winners usually are pretty good too.
True that. And there's probably nobody. He's got a lot of races. Yeah. He's not Michael Waltrip territory yet, but he's getting close.
God, could you imagine Ty Gibbs being in Michael Waltrip territory and then just winning a one-off Daytona 500?
And then a couple years later, winning another one?
And then, just that one was less exciting because it was a range.
Well, it would be one of the tallest guys in NASCAR, one of the shortest people in NASCAR.
True that. That's a good one. Dylan, do you want to go next or do you want me to go next? It's up to you.
I'll go.
And if you and you know who Trace is going to pick for 10th.
That sounds like a fun game to try and guess what Trace is going to pick.
Hey, that's the underlying game of the whole picks is that we try to pick each other's picks. So
I know who he'll pick. He's got to be in there somewhere.
Yeah. He needs the money.
All right. All right. My top 10 pick. I'm going with Josh Berry plus 220.
Wow, he is really stretching out there. I seen him, and I did not know what to do with him at 10th. It was a up or down, man. I feel like I picked him right after Vegas for a couple times, and then he has done nothing. So I did. That was a look. I did look at it.
I think there's value there being in plus 200s. I mean, I was trying to look at anything above plus 200 really, but he seems to be the best. I mean, you got Eric Jones that might be able to. Eric Jones and Ryan Preece, they might be able to squeeze a top 10 out. Yeah,
Preece was on the radar also, just because of the way he's been running lately, or all year really. But I eventually had to settle back with my boy because I know he's coming back. He's gonna get a butt whooping, but it ain't gonna be this week. Carson Hocevar, with the speed he's had, he's going to come back from his little redemption thing from Mexico City. He's going to put it in the top 10 somewhere. Didn't feel confident about top 5 with the luck, so that's why I only extended to a top 10. Low value on the pick there, but we're going to see what happens.
Okay.
All right, old man.
Top 5 pick plus 260. I'm going to go with Where's Waldo? Chase Elliott.
Waldo got found last week. Top 3 on the podium, looking like he hated every minute of it on that podium. He's going
to make it 2 weeks in a row.
On the podium? So what do you think?
No, well, he's going to make a top 5. He's going to make a showing in the top 10. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
He's going to finish 5th.
Dylan, comments on that? Him picking Chase Elliott? Comments? Any comment? I see a smirk. You got a smirk.
He was on my radar. I almost had him written down for top 5, but I don't. I thought about it, but I don't.
I wised up.
He come back to reality. Hey, Dylan looked at the Chase's history. It's usually 15th, 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 third place, 15th, 15th, 15th.
Right. But he's got a win there in the last couple of years.
In the next year,
I want to say I seen on driver averages.
Yeah, you know what win that was though, right? That was the Denny Hamlin get DQ'd win.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I thought the Busch was second place and got DQ'd.
They both got DQ'd.
So he was probably third.
Yeah.
Well, he's right up there. So if he finishes third, I'm still in.
Yeah. That was the tape underneath the
Hamlin and Busch, Kyle Busch.
Yeah, that was the tape. It was the Joe Gibbs thing. It was the tape underneath the wrap. Yeah. Dad's like, I got to pick. Hey, this guy's won here before.
At least he's finished third before.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of reaching out there for top 5 myself. It's higher than Chase Elliott, and I'm putting a pick in there just in case restarts start getting crazy. Race starts going weird at the end. I gotta go with Joey Logano plus 300.
Joey Logano's plus 300 for a top 5.
Yes,
that's hard to believe. That is hard to believe. I don't know. I guess maybe the speed lately hasn't been there, but
and he finished 5th last year here.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Joey Logano. I did totally missed him on that pick there. I went safe this week. I went real safe this week. I will see it out, guys. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was trying to get on a streak of winners with this pick.
Well, after finishing last week, he probably went safe this week.
Anyways, I had 3 picks. Y'all had 3 picks. My guys just didn't finish, I guess. I don't know. Anyways.
Hulkenberg.
Yeah, Hulkenberg. Yeah. Anyways, going Chase. No, going Chase. Going Chris Bell plus 160. So played it safe.
Staying close to the base of that tree, ain't you?
Yeah. I'm trying to keep my monies in my pocket. Okay.
Yeah, Tracy's got some minus numbers this week.
Whoa. Just because they're under 200 doesn't mean they're actually minuses. But anyways, they're not favorites. They're somewhat favorites, but we're gonna get a little antsy in the top 3 and the top 5 and the winner. So not really. We're playing it safe on both the next picks, anyways. For me, Potter, who is your top 3?
Not 100% sure, but I think I was supposed to write down Hamlin's going to finish third. I had a plus 155.
Yeah, you see, Dad started to retract to that branch that he was on. 155.
I think for a third with Hamlin's capability, I think that's a modest pick.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't pick him I didn't have 155 for 5th like you did.
Okay. Anyways, I didn't have him for 5th. What?
No, but you was 16 plus 160 for 5th.
For Bill. Yeah, 160. Dylan's got. I'm gonna pick Dylan's pick.
Getting off you, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Dylan's pick. It's gonna be one of 2. It's gonna be Will Byron or Ryan Blaney. One of the 2.
It's Bill Byron.
24.
It's Bill Byron.
plus 250.
He's staying on the train. Plus 250. Oh man, we get too predictable on this show. I tell you that. The host of our top 10 is like my staple. So anytime Dylan gets a plus 200 on Byron in the top 3, top 5, he's gonna get it. Hey, I like it. Hey, he was up there. It was, you can ask Dad when we was picking. It was between him and Blaney. So
Byron's just too consistent on speed right now on the ovals at least.
Yeah, he's been fast here before.
Until I pick him, then he runs out of gas. With like 5 laps to go.
Oh, at Michigan. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dad's like, I got this in the back.
I went from 1st to 3rd in our fantasy just watching him go to the road. Who do you got for 3rd?
3rd? Blaney, plus 230. So I was on that same thought wave as y'all. So as me and Dylan were on the same wavelength. Dad didn't fly too far from the coop there. So, but anyways, Blaney got 2 wins here. I think he can get it done. Easy top 3 for my guy. Hopefully he doesn't, since we're putting money on him, hopefully he doesn't blow up. So It's usually what happens this year. So could go wrong.
Yep.
So all right, old man, give us your winner.
My winner, or he's either going to win or blow up, will be Ryan Blaney at plus 650.
Yeah, he's definitely blowing up now. Definitely blowing
I
up.
win either way. So.
Yeah, because I lose. Anyway, no. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead, Dale. Larson. It's going to be Larson.
Nah.
Going with the guy that's fresh back from paternity leave, Denny Hamlin.
Oh, mi amigo, Dylan, me also.
Let's see. I bet he's plus 425.
Yeah.
He is plus 425.
Hey, me and Dylan are on the same brain waves this week. Yep. We got a guy that was brother-in-law in second for top three. Blaney and Byron, they were basically brother-in-laws for a split second, with Byron dating the sister there for a second. So they favor each other. And then Hamlin, he's fresh. Like Dylan said, didn't have to go to Mexico City. Probably got a fresh pair of Jordans. You know what I'm saying?
You notice on the Kenny Wallace podcast today, they brought him up about missing a race.
What about it? I didn't get that far.
Mark Martin said he didn't miss no races, and then Kenny Wallace said he didn't miss no races about any of that stuff having. His wife was in labor, and he was racing the Xfinity race and everything else. I just thought it was funny how they went against what Denny did about missing a race.
It's Mexico. First of all, Mark said he wouldn't want to go to Mexico.
Well, I agree with that.
So I think if it was any other track, he probably would have won.
Well, what was odd about that, they were talking about today's drivers. Well, Denny's not really a today's driver. He's more of a mid-yesteryear driver, early 2000s type. But it's just odd that they were talking about people missing races and due to things in this generation.
Yeah. All right. Let's finish this puppy up. Let's get Dark Horse. Jeez Louise. The English language is terrible.
It's not just drivers' names.
No, it's just the plain.
You would think as bad as grammar he is, he'd excel in mathematics, but that wasn't the case either.
I was bad in both, actually.
Yeah, he was equal opportunity there.
Yeah. Anyways. All right, old man. Dark Horse.
My dark horse is Bubba Wallace.
Wow. How many Toyotas did you pick?
Plus 2,500. Oh,
just 2, 3.
3 out of 5.
Yeah, 3 out of 5. Okay, 3 out of 5.
Yeah, Chevy in the Ford.
Okay. All right, Dylan, who you got?
He's sitting at plus 2,000. I'm going to go with your boy, Carson Hocevar.
Dang, did y'all talk?
I'm telling you, man, we are on the same wavelength, brother. I'm telling you, dude. It's going to be a win. Me and Dylan are going to come back victorious next week. I'm going to shove it right in your face, old man. Okay. Did you flex up a little bit there? You tense up a little bit?
I probably cramped up.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was. Dylan.
Hey, better people have done that to me. So
better people?
Shoved it in.
Whoa, brother.
Put words and what y'all were saying.
Anyways.
God, it's a young man's game.
Yeah. What, thinking, talking?
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, me and Dylan me and Dylan are going to win this week. We got the same smarts.
No, all of the stars are going to line up for Ty Gibbs and Blaney or Bubba.
Yeah, but should be interesting.
Almost went Bubba for 10th. I got a feeling.
I about said the same exact thing. I did that too because I think Toyota's going to have a. Dylan, you think it's going to be Toyota, Chevrolet, or Ford this weekend, buddy?
I got to go with Toyota because I picked Denny for the winner, right? So
no, I know that, but I'm saying like predominantly up front this week.
I don't think Fords are going to be predominantly up front. I think there'll be like 1 or 2 that stand out, but that's it. And then the rest will probably be. I'm going to say Chevy.
Okay. It's usually a Chevy and Toyota thing here. Usually, I would assume, and then other than the like he said, there's usually like one good Ford or something like that.
Yeah, I'll say Ryan and Busher will probably be your top Fords.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to add that top Ford of the day. We'll add that one day. Maybe do that next show. We'll figure that out. But no, I think it's going to be. I kind of agree with you. I think, like you said, we're thinking about the same thing. Denny, fast Toyota. Toyota's going to be up front. There's going to be some Chevrolets in the mix and maybe a Ford. So I get that. And hopefully, for Dad's sake, it's Ryan Blaney. So,
do you think Reddick will have his speed back?
I thought about picking him.
Right.
I would assume
he's done well at this track.
Yeah, he's had to come up on everybody's radar as far as picking this week. But for some reason, I just couldn't, because I picked him the last couple weeks, I want to say, or one of the last couple weeks, thinking that he was going to have it back. But I don't know, dude. I have no idea, to tell you the truth on that. If he does have a speed, it's going to be like, I think it's going to be back towards the end of the top 10.
Yeah, I was just looking through like top Ford, top Toyota, and the top Chevy driver. I'm having to refresh the screen here. They have at plus 3,000 top Chevrolet driver Ricky Craven.
Ricky Craven?
I don't know if you can see
What
that.
year? What year was that again?
Holy crap.
Oh, he's somewhere there.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder if you actually would win anything on that. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That is wild. When's the last year he ran?
Brennan Poole's on here too?
Yeah, Brennan, he's racing the 44 car.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I put him at the top of the screen though.
That's wild, man.
Oh, he's up there though.
What was that again about Craven?
He's on the top. You said Ford or Chevy or something like that.
Top Chevrolet driver.
Top Chevrolet.
Plus 3,000.
Is Ricky Stenhouse on that list?
No.
So it might be. Maybe that's. Maybe they just.
Probably.
The intern who typed that up probably got in trouble.
But like top. Well, no, never mind. Yeah, I don't know.
That's kind of wild. I don't know. Anybody else y'all were looking forward? Anybody should bounce back or anything like that? Or
I'd like to say Larson needs to bounce back.
I'm telling you, man, it's going to be
a World Outlaws race last night. Was it last night?
Yeah, Houston. The night one.
Houston, yeah, night one.
Yeah.
Or is he going to be there tonight?
Probably.
Okay.
I would assume so. Yeah, it'd be nice for Larson to bounce back. Bowman, I know he was running decent the other day at the New Mexico. Then he kind of faded there.
Chastain faded. Gibbs faded. A lot of
Chastain surprised me. I thought he would have some momentum coming off of that Co 600, but
yeah,
he went back to wherever his hole was.
He was about a solid 8th, 7th the other day, and then he was actually moving forward. Then all of a sudden, it was like the wheels fell. Well, literally, probably the wheels did fall off. Go away from him. But it was like a 16th place finish. Yeah. I mean, this was 8 laps to go or 7 laps to go. He just fell back. Yeah. I'm just wondering if the Tab Boy guy got fired because he didn't tell Ricky to cover because Hocevar was coming.
Well, no. Hocevar was a lap down.
I know, but he still ran into the back of.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know that. But anyways, I got a question for you. I know we didn't hit on it on After the Checkered, but where is the stance? And both of y'all get a turn here. Where are y'all stance on drivers in the 30th something in points getting a playoff spot? Dylan can go first.
Well, I mean, NASCAR created this situation, the winning you're in. And they used to have, I think, top 30 as a rule, and then they did away with it.
Right.
But now it's winning you're in. So, I mean, what are you doing? You're outcasting what, 8 drivers maybe?
Well, it's 6 with the charters, and I would assume that's what they did it for.
Now, in that same thing they were talking about today with Kenny Wallace, and they mentioned the 30-second because they mentioned Richard Petty's stance on it.
Yeah, he hates it.
But didn't they also said that Joey was like a 20th place person and won the championship last year?
Yeah, he was at 20 something in points.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of odd too, if you think about it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
but I think they need to go back to the top 30 like they had it, or move it up to 25 or something like that. Probably.
This whole format's always bothered me because you could sit there and not do anything, and then one race before the playoffs, say you win Daytona and you're in, and then say you just go have like a really good last 10 races, and then you win the championship. But those first 20 races, you didn't do anything. I mean, you could have finished last every one of them.
Yeah.
Well, Blaney, when he won a couple years ago, he didn't have a very good start to the season and caught fire really in the playoff.
I want to say he had 1 win to get in.
Right.
And then 3 wins inside.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he finished second in the last race.
Well, I mean, ever since they went to this, you had Joey. I mean, even Joey's 2022 year, he wasn't lights out, fast, but wasn't lights out. Then you got Blaney, fast, not lights out. And then last year, Joey got in because the 48 got disqualified. It's the only reason he's a champion or 3-time champion. 1, 2, 3 races.
So, thanks, Alex.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all Alex's fault.
Everything's Alex's fault, man.
What do you think about this whole in-season challenge thing?
Did they put the seeds out yet, or is that coming after this week?
I think I guess it's after this week because I'm looking at it. It's blank.
Okay.
The top 30.
Interesting though, because that starts with what, TNT top 30.
Yep. Yeah, they only have a.
Oh, why not do
top
everybody?
30.
Okay, but that starts. That starts after Pocono, I think, right?
Yeah, at Atlanta or Echo Park Speedway.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe Larson's bad string. Maybe they're like, see, this is maybe Larson's plan. Get a bad seed, and then you won't have to go up against the best guys. Maybe. Is that not how it works? Maybe you get a mediocre seed with the thing.
You got to switch out your.
Terrible. You go up against the first place guys.
You got to switch out your hat for a tinfoil hat. You forgot to swap them.
Hey, I got the old 6'9" up here, man. 6'9", lucky hat.
Nolan Wilson Racing.
Yeah, he's always in the best position with 6'9". Don't worry, no one will see that. So, or hear probably. So we're good. But yeah, no, I don't know, man. I don't know how that's going to go. Should be interesting. I wonder if it's actually going to add anything to the racing, because typically, I mean, I don't know, $1 million is like having an extra all-star race inside the all-star weeks, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Thoughts? It's just another gimmick to you, probably.
Well, yeah, and as we found out today on that podcast, old people don't like gimmicks in NASCAR these days.
Yeah, no, you trust me. You've been saying that on this podcast for 3 years now.
But I'm glad you shared that with me, so I could listen to Mark Martin and Kenny Wallace, and I just want to see what that poll was that they took.
I don't know.
So Mark's the voice of the race fans.
Oh, there was something on Twitter, I think.
Yeah, he did a poll, and evidently the older people kind of, first of all, I'm okay with Prime, but the older people didn't like the Prime thing. Even though that people like the coverage, they're not a big fan of Prime.
Well, I think it's just, I don't know. I know we talked about that.
I think all three of us were on the same page with Prime.
Yeah, because we're people of coherent abilities.
Yeah, I'm barely hanging on to the technology.
Well, I don't know English, so you kind of pick me up in that area. So
okay,
so we kind of help each other out.
You're really struggling if I'm picking you up.
Dylan's tech savvy, so he gets it. So he has no problem with that. So I don't know, Dylan. What do you think about old people complaining about Prime?
just it gives them something to do. Complaining just to complain, really. It doesn't matter where you're at. You're always going to have a complaint.
Right. But one thing they also want to hit on is what they were talking about was TV struggling with fans watching TV. And both of them said this right here is the culprit, because back in the day, you didn't have no choices. You stayed home and watched TV. You watched the race on television. And now I don't have to watch the race to get on here after the race to comment on it. I can go watch the highlights that they've got picked out for 20 minutes on YouTube and do that. I'm not a viewer. I can go on there and stream something here on this. I didn't watch TV. And so the viewer numbers can be down.
Yeah.
But due to streaming or YouTube or some highlights somewhere.
Yeah.
And you can go enjoy your day because you're going to be able to have the opportunity to watch it somewhere, sometime that week.
Yeah. No, I get you. And it's technology is like its own worst enemy for some of that stuff. So I don't know. I get it. I mean, it makes complete sense to me. I don't know. I call myself an old school fan because I do set aside time in the day to watch it live.
Right. I want to take you both of y'all back a little bit. When you get down and ready to watch a race, you turn on Prime, or you got Prime and Max, and you can watch the in-car and the regular and everything else. But back in the day, when you had 4 channels and it snowed on one of them every time, the Channel 7, NPR, or whatever it's called, PBS, I'm sorry. But on Wild World of Sports, they advertise, say, a race at Darlington or Daytona when they run that or whatever. But you got to see like the first 5 laps of the race. Then they went to figure skating for a segment, and then they went to bobsledding, and then they come back and watch 10 more laps of the race, and then they went over here, and then they went back over here, and it was all timed and choreographed. That when the ending of each thing, you got to watch the final. You got to watch the final 10 laps of the race on Wild World of Sports, but that's what you had to compete with back then, because now you get pre-race, post-race, and everything else all at one time. You don't have to get off the couch. You can watch it all. And back then, though, you got to see segments of it, and it was shared with other sports.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would not like that.
Right, no. But just think of the old school person that he graduated from Wild World of Sports to ESPN and got to watch, everything. He was in high heaven.
Yeah, true that. Well, Dylan, do you have anything to comment on TV services or anything like that before we get out of here?
No, I mean, a lot of the arguments are, well, if it was on FS1, I wouldn't have to pay to watch it. And it's like, well, you are paying to watch it, and unless you're bootlegging or something like that. So
YouTube TV ain't getting no cheaper, is it?
Definitely not getting any cheaper. Definitely not getting no cheaper.
I remember when it came out as introductory, it was like $49 a month, and now it's doubled that. So
something like that. I wouldn't know, but anyways. Anyways,
I mean to talk to you about
it. Yeah. Hey, out of all the Prime Video stuff you bought on my account, anyways, I'm not going to talk about that. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, hey, Dylan, thanks for stopping by again. You're pretty much a regular, so I should stop saying that.
Wanted to say that we didn't even catch it the other day. I don't think, and maybe y'all did, and I just didn't listen because your mom was making so much noise making that cake. But Dylan won on Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
And as much as Mr. Ronnie works on that car and everything else, that had to be a good little family moment there.
Yeah, well, Dad's super excited. Whenever that happens, of course, you can hear him on the Dirt Vision feed, really, but and the microphone is nowhere near him. So, but yeah, no,
that had to be a big moment there.
Yeah, no, we were all happy. It was a good moment. Just us three that you saw in the picture, really, at the track. I didn't have Megan and Olivia were at home. Just with these summer races, it's too hot for Olivia to be out there. So I'm always telling them kind of like, yeah, no, don't worry about coming. Wait till it cools off to bring her out. So
that just means you got to get another one whenever she's there. So
yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun victory lane there when that happens. So that's cool. All right. Everybody good? Everybody got all their stuff out this week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like me and Dylan are going to take home some money this weekend.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You got to take home that plus 2,000.
Hey, that could happen. Could happen. Never know. Ricky Stenhouse is going to keep that from happening for us, unfortunately, probably.
Yeah.
But
Host bar looked like a raccoon in victory lane.
Both eyes.
Both eyes.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, Dylan, thanks for coming on again, buddy, for stopping by this week. Dad, thanks for coming to the house. Appreciate you doing that. You can check out anybody out there listening or will listen to this. You can check out everything on pitroadnetwork.com. All of our socials are pitroadnetwork.com or Pit Road Network. YouTube, Pit Road Network, what you're listening on. Spotify's got video now. You can listen to it on there. We upload the entire live on there. But anyways, we do have our shows on Sunday night, typically after the checker. It's usually Sunday or Monday, depending on when we do it. And then we have the Pit Report podcast, which is our grassroots racing podcast. Comes out usually probably on Wednesdays. Dylan was on it last week because he got the win. So anytime Dylan races, we usually have his Dylan's download. So usually it's once a month on that. So, but other than that,
catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and
TikTok. Dad's doing the dances. So
yeah, we're not dancing.
Yeah. So hopefully we get to go to a race this weekend. Go to your local grassroots race track near you. Hopefully we will get a chance to go to ours if it doesn't rain. So, but anyways, peace out. Have a great week.
God bless.
There you go. Always